on this somber October 7th. It's been 1 year since the brutal Hamas attack on Israel. It was the deadliest day for Jewish people since the Holocaust. Today at 6:29 a.m., sirens blared across Israel as people stood in silence remembering the 1,200 people slaughtered by Hamas and the more than 200 others who were abducted and taken hostage inside Gaza. At least 97 of those hostages are believed to still be alive inside Hamas's underground tunnels. And hundreds gathered, including Israel's president, at the site of the Nova Music Festival, near where Hamas fighters breached the Israel-Gaza border and killed an estimated 364 festival goers. At the memorial, they played the very last music track played at the festival before it came under attack. My colleague, Raf Sanchez, was there and spoke to some of those relatives who lost loved ones that day. Take a listen.
How is it to be back here 1 year on?
It's hard. I'm shaking to be here. You go all the way and you see this amazing, beautiful place, and you realize the horror that was here.
It's been a year, but it feels like we are still on the same day.
Still October 7th for you?
It's still October 7th.
If you could speak to Moore, what would you tell him?
That I'm sorry that I wasn't here to save him. He's my little cousin, so I'm supposed to be the one that protects him. And that he did not deserve this, but I'm proud of him because he left this world a hero.
At the White House, the president and first lady participated in a candle lighting ceremony and a moment of silence. In a statement marking the 1 year anniversary, President Biden said, quote, "On this day of remembrance, which also falls during the holiest days of the Jewish calendar, we honor the indomitable spirit of the Jewish people and mourn the victims of October 7th. Since that horrific day 1 year ago, the situation in the Middle East has become increasingly deadly and unstable. Israel's aerial assault and ground invasion of Gaza in an effort to dismantle and destroy Hamas has killed tens of thousands of civilians. It's also reduced much of the area to rubble and created a humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. And the conflict itself appears to be expanding, with Israel now fighting Iran and its proxy groups on multiple fronts. NBC's Erin McLaughlin joins me now from Tel Aviv. So, Erin, what's the mood like in Israel today? Of course, such a somber day. And what are you hearing from people?
Well, Yamish, the mood is somber. I was just in Tel Aviv, the heart of the city, a place known as Hostage Square. Thousands of Israelis had gathered, many of them openly weeping at the memory of what happened on October 7th. It is clear that this is still a gaping and open wound for this country, one that deepens every day. And that is certainly true for Rita Lifshitz. She's a resident of kibbutz Nir Oz, one of the hardest hit of the kibbutzim. We visited her at the kibbutz over the weekend, and it's clear that she's still haunted.
Maybe because I was not here to help my family members. The 7th of October, I left 10 hours before.
She was visiting Tel Aviv, but was in close contact with residents who she considers family, as Hamas militants tore through her kibbutz for hours, unchallenged by the Israeli military.
Murdered, kidnapped.
A quarter of kibbutz Nir Oz were either kidnapped or killed. Each home now a ghostly monument. Rita shows us where Carmela Dan and her granddaughter were hiding and burned alive.
They were hugging each other. That's how they found them. How come the army was not here in 8 hours?
A year later, you still don't have the answer to
Something is not right.
Ridad's 84-year-old father-in-law, Oded, was kidnapped on October 7th and taken to Gaza. She says she doesn't know if he's dead or alive, but she wants this government to do more to prioritize the hostages. She said she's worried with this ever-expanding war that they're going to be forgotten. Yamish.
And it's just such heartbreaking images to see you standing there with her in that place that just still looks like it happened just yesterday. And you, of course, also just mentioned that expanding war. So I want to ask you about it. As we mark 1 year of this war, Iran's proxy groups have been launching attacks toward Israel. What more do we know about that?
Yeah, that's right, Yamish. There was an attack today from Yemen, a missile fired, intercepted by Israeli defenses. That's becoming kind of a weekly occurrence since I've been here. And then, of course, you have that front there in Lebanon, ongoing fighting today. According to the Israeli military, they dropped 100 Israeli fighter jets, hit 120 Hezbollah targets in a matter of 24 hours. The civilian death toll there, of course, is rising as Hezbollah continues to fire rockets toward Israel. Some of those rockets making it through the air defenses, hitting the streets of Haifa. No one injured here in Israel. And then, of course, you have the situation unfolding there in Gaza. Over the weekend, Israeli military once again ordering the evacuation of northern Gaza. Some 300,000 Palestinians there. The Israeli military is targeting for the fourth time the Jabalia refugee camp. They say that Hamas is sort of rebuilding there a year later, which raises questions about how successful, given that Hamas is much smaller in size, the Israelis will be with that offensive in Lebanon. Yamish.
Yeah, so many questions on this 1 year anniversary. There are multiple fronts being fought there. So thank you so much, Erin, for your reporting. Let me now bring in Ambassador Dennis Ross, former U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East and an NBC News Foreign Affairs analyst. Thank you so much for being here. So we're now 1 year into this war. What's your assessment of where things stand in the Middle East as you see things?
Look, fundamentally, Israel has a number of remarkable military achievements. I think the problem is more that they don't have a strategy right now that allows them to translate military achievements into political outcomes. What you just heard from Erin was in Jabalia, which is a refugee camp, which I've been in many times in the past. The Israelis have cleaned that out several times and they've gone back in. So if you're going to translate what are significant military achievements in Gaza, where Hamas is no longer a military, but it still represents a terrorist group, you have to focus on what can replace an Israeli presence. The more Israel can begin to be thinking about what replaces it in Gaza. In Lebanon, they've weakened Hezbollah to the point where the Lebanese government could reestablish itself, reestablish Lebanese sovereignty, reestablish the Lebanese army throughout the country. Here are examples of where Israel's military achievements, having weakened Hamas and Hezbollah, having weakened what Iran calls the axis of resistance, Israel would be in a position where you begin to change the region dramatically for the better. But you have to have a set of political objectives in mind. You have to have in mind how you create an end game, and that's not clear at this point.
Well, as you're talking about sort of how this war has evolved here and what Israel's been able to do and accomplish, I want to also ask you about the Biden administration, because they've been saying since the beginning of this war that they're working to prevent it expanding. We're now seeing Hezbollah and the Houthis and Tehran now involved. Was that a failure? Is that a failure of the Biden administration, or was it inevitable that given the complex issues going on in this region that this is where we were going to be?
Look, almost by definition, this was unbelievably complicated, with Hamas wanting to trigger a much wider war. The U.S. doing all it could to try to prevent a wider war. The problem was that you had Hamas not really interested after November in another hostage deal, at least not the leader of Hamas, Yahya Sinwar. And Hezbollah made a decision that it was going to keep firing into Israel as a way of trying to tie the Israelis down. Inevitably, it led the Israelis to try to raise the cost of Hezbollah of continuing to be firing rockets into Israel, even if it was confined mainly to the northern part of Israel. It was keeping nearly 70,000 Israelis away from their homes. As Israel decided to raise the cost to Hezbollah, it became also increasingly convinced that our efforts to bring that kind of fighting to an end were not going to succeed. And that's why I think after nearly a year, the Israelis decided, all right, now we're going to pretty much try to weaken Hezbollah. They destroyed the entire leadership of Hezbollah. They killed Hassan Nasrallah. And so now you have those two fronts, and then you have the Iranians deciding that they're going to fire into Israel as a way of avenging what the Israelis are doing, but they're doing it in a way where they hope it'll be limited. You have this remarkable situation where Iran does not want to look like it's weak, so it's going to fire into Israel. Israel does not want to look like it's weak, so it's going to retaliate. It's very difficult to try to control this. We have a significant military presence there. We should be warning the Iranians, as I think we are, that if they continue this, they draw a risk of drawing us in. And I can tell you one thing about the Iranians, the one thing they do not want is to get into a direct conflict with the United States. Regime survival is the first priority for the Iranian regime. The one thing they see threatening that survival is a direct war with us. So they don't want that. We have to use that fear as a deterrent, use that fear to try to also ensure that we contain what's happening between Israel and Iran right now.
Well, thank you so much, Ambassador Ross, for your analysis during this, of course, critical time period. And of course, on a day like today, it's great to have you. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Let me now turn to retired General Joseph Votel. He's former commander of U.S. Central Command and distinguished senior fellow at National Security at the Middle East Institute. So thank you so much for being here. As we mentioned, we're still waiting to see how Israel is going to retaliate against Iran. You just heard the ambassador talk about this. This week, Israel's defense minister will meet with Secretary Austin at the Pentagon. From a military perspective, how much will the Israelis, how much do you think they'll consider what the Pentagon has to say here, given how the last year has gone?
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be with you again. So I think certainly the Israelis will pay attention to what advice that the United States gives to them through our military channels or through our political channels. We have a long-term partnership and relationship with them, so they will certainly take on board the advice that we provide them. That said, ultimately, the decisions to retaliate, to go back after Iran are largely going to be Israeli decisions, are completely going to be Israeli decisions, and they're going to be looking for some specific objectives out of this. I think one of the things that's important for people to keep in mind here is that Israel does not necessarily want to return to the status quo. They do want a weakened Axis. They want a weakened Iran. They want a weakened Hezbollah. They certainly want to weaken Hamas on their, that they have to deal with going forward. And so they're going to continue to, I think, try to extract as much pain as they can on those actors as they move forward militarily.
With that point, if you're saying that Israel is trying to sort of have as much pain for these groups and for the sort of people that they're fighting now in this multi-front war, I wonder, what do you expect Israel's retaliation to look like now when it comes to these strikes with Iran? And I wonder if you think they'll go after, in particular, Iran's nuclear facilities.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the $64,000 question right now is what this what this response actually looks like. I mean, they have the opportunity to go after certainly after the facilities associated with the nuclear weapons program. They can go after oil and gas facilities. These are both significant prestige locations for the Iranians. In the case of oil and gas, would have almost immediate impacts on their economy and perhaps on the economy within the region. They can also go after one of the more traditional military targets. That would be Iranian command and control locations, air bases, missile launch sites, stockpiles, with the intent of reducing those capabilities capabilities for Iran. So there's a lot of things that they can do. I think we have to take Iran at its word, or Israel at its word, when it says that it is going to strike back hard. And the last time around, they principally were messaging the Iranians. I think certainly there will be a message in this response, but I think there will also be an element of punishment. They will try to hold something at risk that is very, very important to the Iranians.
And General, you said that this is largely going to be a decision by Israel. But with that in mind, what role do you think the U.S. should be playing here, and what Israel's response looks like? Should it be something bigger than just providing intelligence, or you think we should be doing more as the United States?
Well, I think we are doing a lot, and there's probably a lot that is ongoing that we're not seeing. Certainly, a meeting between our Secretary of Defense and the Minister of Defense of Israel is an important aspect. But I'm certain there are discussions going on at sub-cabinet and certainly within the other departments of our government with their counterparts in Israel. So the first thing we should do is we should stay engaged. We should be communicating with our principal partner in the region, in this case, Israel. Second of all, we've got to continue to maintain a strong military presence in the region. This is important, as we saw last week, and not only helping defend Israel, but really helping the conflict really get more out of control than it already is. I do think our presence in the region does have a deterring effect. That said, Iran, I think, was compelled to respond last week. I think they're hoping that there will be an off-ramp out of this, but I think these are the types of things we should be continuing to do, and then reassuring our partners across the region that we are committed to this, and we want to move this beyond conflict more into the diplomatic, political realms.
And General, because it's the one-year anniversary, and sometimes I want to pull back and look at the bigger picture here. We know that Israel's goal is to dismantle Hamas and Hezbollah. Do you think Israel's strategy in Gaza and now in Lebanon has been an effective one when you think about that goal? Has Israel really done enough to fight the ideology behind Hamas and Hezbollah when you think about sort of how they've gone about this?
Well, in many ways, that's a very difficult task for military organizations to conduct. I mean, I think what we've definitely seen a weakening of the so-called Iranian axis here, whether it has been Hezbollah or Hamas or Iran itself. We've seen a number of assumptions that have previously been in place. For example, that Hezbollah could deter Israel from taking action. That's clearly not the case, and Israel is certainly taking it to Hezbollah over the last couple of weeks. Certainly the military can do a lot. But what we've learned this in our own global war on terror is that ultimately, unless you take measures to address the underlying problems that give rise to many of these tensions and this violence, you're going to continue to deal with this going forward. And as somebody who has watched the Middle East for a long time, has served there, and as many of your viewers, I'm sure, appreciate, there are deep underlying tensions in the region that have yet to be addressed, and they're not going to be successfully addressed militarily. The military can do things to bring people to the table, but they're not going to address the underlying issues of Palestinian-Israeli relationships, of the toxic narrative and activities that Iran is pursuing without more focused efforts in that particular area.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, General, for joining us.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.